Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome again to another live here. I want to make sure you can see me and hear me. I'm not in a familiar territory here this morning. Fran, good morning. Okay, good. You can hear me. John, hopefully, technically, things will be all right. I tried to arrange for extra Wi-Fi this morning. Good morning, John from Elgin, Illinois, and Nativity, Nick and Fran. Good to have you on with us this morning. Do you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is International Coffee Day. Guess what? We're going to do, I promise we're going to talk about coffee, vitamin C tomorrow. Rosa, Jeanette, and I know I missed a few here. Hold on. Sarah and Sherry and Michael and Lorraine and Alma. You guys are great, okay? Thanks for coming on. Susan and Leah and Lise. You guys are wonderful. Jerry from Nouveau-Brunswick. Our dear friend Lee. Good morning to you, Lee. Crystal, Jeanette, Lubna, and Jean. And everything looks good. That's what Nick tells me. Sue, how are you? Good to have you on this morning. John, how are you? Felicia. And Christiane, I think. And Reem and Yolande. Bonjour. Okay, guess where I am, folks? I am in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And I'm going to be speaking in about, that's why I might do a little bit of a shorter version this morning, just because I've got to do a little bit of traveling, not far, to speak to a group this morning, okay? And it's a ladies' coffee hour here in the Soo, and they invited me several months ago, and, you know, with all this COVID, who knows, what's, you know, a lot of stuff has been canceled. I had a whole book tour, but that's all right. Actually, the timing of it is going to be good. And we're going to, we'll have that book tour. The book probably now, just because of the publishers and what's going on with COVID, we're probably looking at, tomorrow's October, so probably a mid-November launch, okay? And we're going to, I'll keep you updated about that. The diet, your doctor won't share with you, okay? And that should be the Martin Clinic Reset. The diet your doctor won't share with you. That's the title of the book. Coming to a theater near you. Okay, so everything's good? Okay, good to have you on this morning. Now, I want to talk to you this morning about a study that came out yesterday. At least it was picked up yesterday. I think it was given at the International Conference on the European International Conference on Obesity. Okay? Obviously, it was done online. But the media actually, at least I saw it in the National Post, so I don't know where else. But the media did sort of pick up on this. You know what it says, okay? Diets that are high in processed foods. I'm going to go over that with you, but here's what they said. Diets high in chips, chocolate bars, soft drinks, instant noodles, and packaged breads and buns, okay, result in chromosomal changes. You know what that does? I'm going to put it in layman's terms. It affects the chromosomes, okay? Now, every cell in your body, you don't have billions of them, you have trillions of them. And you guys know this, so I'm just going to repeat it because we did a whole podcast. If you want to go back and look at the podcast on telomeres, okay? But here's what this study said, brand new. Oh, here's where it came from, okay? It was given at the international conference in Europe on obesity, but the research came out of the University of Navarra, I hope I said that right, in Spain. And what they're showing is processed foods shorten your telomeres. Telemers. Telomeres. Telomeres are shortened by food. Now, what's that mean? Sounds different, but what does it mean? Well, your telomeres are little wicks. Like, remember, if you've been with me a while, I actually brought out a candle. And you know what a candle has little wicks, right? And of course, the longer the wick, the longer the candle lasts. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how your body is made? Guys, I know I'm an evangelist, but if you don't believe in God, I don't know. Like, I just can't help you. No, I'm just thinking, like, every cell in your body, think about this, has little telomeres. And telomeres are like wicks. And the shorter they are, the faster you age. And what this study has said, and I've been saying this for so long, is food affects the length of the telomeres. You want to have longer telomeres. How do you do that? You eat good foods. Processed foods. Somebody was on our Facebook, and it happens more than once a week. And listen, this is why I love our Facebook group. If you're not part of the Martin Clinic Facebook group, you should be part of it. Why is that? Because I can't even remember her name. She brought something out about red meat yesterday. Okay? And what she said, because if you Google red meat, you don't have to do an exhaustive search. You just have to Google it. And within a split nanosecond, you're going to get research, or not research. You'll get studies or whatever that tell you red meat is no good for you. 100%. And they'll give you many reasons. It's full of fat. It is acidic. It is, it's bad for you all around. And you know what? The very opposite is true. And I probably said it yesterday, and I'll probably say it tomorrow, even though tomorrow is going to be dedicated to coffee. I am not missing International Coffee Day tomorrow, okay? I just won't. You guys know me. But listen, don't buy the lie that red meat is bad for you. You want to lengthen your telomeres? Eat red meat. Do you hear me? Now, look, there are better, look, I get it. People come after me because they say, Dr. Martin, what about processed meats? Well, all I'm going to say is this, okay? Please have patience with me as I explain this. You're better off with, of course, going to your butcher and getting the best cuts and the best quality meat. And if you know a farmer, you know me, I'm the farmer's best friend. Of course, do that. But all I'm going to say is this. you are better off eating a processed bologna than you are eating a chocolate bar. Because some people think, well, they're purist, right? And look, if you can afford it, if, I educate you, absolutely. But don't fool yourself how your body works. And, there's salt added, and sometimes, like they say, nitrates. You know what, guys? When you eat vegetables, you get nitrates. Vegetables have nitrates. It's a byproduct of vegetables. Does that make them bad for you? No. So they say, oh, meat, processed meat has nitrate. All I know is, look, you know what I measure. And I did it for 40 years. Insulin. 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 The death hormone. Insulin is the key. Now, no, we don't live in a perfect world. You can, if you can get your meat, get your eggs, organic or whatever, I'm 100% behind you. But you must understand that I speak to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people every month. Every month. And my message to them is simple. Cut your carbs down. Increase your animal products. Eggs, meat, and cheese. And I'm not changing. I'm not changing. And the reason is because I'm aiming at insulin. You want to lower your insulin? You want to empty your liver? You want to empty your liver? Well, then eat animal products. And red meat, I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast in the last day or so. Common sense, just common sense would tell you that B12, L-carnitine, L-kerosene, L-arginine, CoQ10, it's all in red meat. Zinc, red meat. It's found in the animal kingdom. I have to emphasize it because there's so much nonsense out there. And listen, I got a lot of patience, I do. If you want to ask me about what I think, when you come onto the Martin Clinic Facebook group, because a lot of people, as soon as you put that up about red meat and cancer, there were people saying following. They're waiting for me to answer. You know what it is, guys? It's fake news. It's fake news. No. And this study is proving it. They're saying, look, as far as aging, telomeres. But what is cancer? What is cancer, by the way? It's premature aging, rapid aging of your cells. What happens? You ever see somebody with cancer? They age right before your eyeballs. True or false? It's true, isn't it? You see somebody in their fourth stage of cancer, and you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that they have cancer. You can see it. What is that? That's their chromosomes. Their little wicks on their chromosomes is down to nothing. Aging right before your eyeballs. Guys, look, there's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees. You can have the best diet in the world, and cross the street and get hit by a bus. Look, you don't control everything in life. You know that. But what you can control is what you put in your mouth. And folks, listen to me, please, please. Red meat is not acidic. I know you will read that. Many of my colleagues will say, and God bless them, I love them. And they're certainly entitled to their opinion. Oh, red meat, it's acidic. No, it's not. It's not acidic. It's not. You have to understand how your body works. Your body is unbelievable. It has a buffering system. It keeps your pH within a very, very tight little, slightly alkaline, your blood. Your body, you know when it can't make you alkaline? When you're in the 4th stage of cancer and you're going into ketoacidosis. You know what ketoacidosis is? Okay, because a lot of people confuse this. I've had patients, I've looked them right in the eyeball and I pointed my finger at them. Some of them would remember this. Listen, I just took your urine and you're into ketoacidosis. Now, what's that? That is, you're in deep doo-doo if you're in ketoacidosis. Because people confuse ketosis with ketoacidosis. A lot of doctors do that. That's why they don't like the keto diet. They think it's ketoacidosis. No, it's not. Ketoacidosis is when your body is literally consuming itself. It's a terrible thing for a diabetic, for example, to go into ketoacidosis. And so people have this, even a lot of my colleagues, they think of ketoacidosis. And oh, you're acidic. Yes, but it's not meat that puts you into ketoacidosis. It's just the opposite. It's stinking carbohydrates, sugars, high fructose corn syrup. You know what's acidic? Sugar is acidic. If you don't believe me, if someone has cancer, they give you a cup of sugar and they put you in a PET scan, and that sugar will go right to your cancer cells and feed them. You know why? Because they're highly acidic. And cancer cells, which are rebellious teenagers, they don't listen. That's what cancer cells are. They're cells out of control. And their chromosomes, their little wicks, are gone. And they're reproducing because they're not listening to headquarters. They're kamikaze pilots that are destroying healthy tissue and organs. And they spread like wildfire as soon as you put sugar in your bloodstream. Not red meat. You can have red meat. Actually, that will cool the fire and lengthen your telomeres. You heard it here. You heard it here. So it is confusing. Yes, that's what exactly the lady said yesterday. It's confusing. Who do I believe? Well, I mean, God gave you a brain, and I'm giving you information. You don't have to accept that information. That's up to you. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That you can filter out anything that you don't like? But I'm just telling you, I've proven it to hundreds of thousands of patients over the years. Change your diet, cut out your sugar, cut out your crappy carbohydrates, because you'll cut out those crappy oils. That's what these processed foods are, by the way. They're all full of that vegetable oil. And then you add soda and fruit juices. Eek. Now your chromosomes are being damaged, and the wicks, the little telomeres, are being shortened. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, I'm telling you, proven it. There was a study that came out I was actually going to do, and I'll probably end up doing it. In 6 days, in 6 days, you can change your liver. You can empty your liver. You got fatty liver? If you eat eggs, meat, and cheese for 6 days, and by the way, who's starting the reset tomorrow with me? What I'm going to do, starting tomorrow, I'm going to come on the private Facebook group, and I'll do a little, a few minute updates, meaning here's what's happening in your body. Listen, a new study came out, shows it only takes 6 days to empty your liver. 6 days. Your liver, you can't live without your liver. Your liver is the parking lot at Costco. Tomorrow, I think I don't know. I want to do coffee, so I don't know what else I'll do tomorrow. But I want to explain to you the difference between fructose and glucose. How about we do that? Okay? If not this week, we will do it. I want to talk to you about the difference between fructose and glucose. There's a difference. Okay? And fructose sounds better, but I'm going to shock you. Okay. So, red meat's not acidic. Cheese is not acidic. It's not acidic. Look, it's not acidic. I'll tell you why. Because once it gets inside your body has, listen, baking soda. Your body makes sodium bicarbonate. So when you eat a tomato, are tomatoes acidic? Yes. But not when you eat them. Oh, Doc, I didn't know that. Yeah, because your body, it has to keep that pH here. So when it has something acidic come in, it turns it alkaline. You know what it can't do? It cannot take sugar and make it alkaline. It can't. Your body cannot take sugar and make it alkaline. It's acidic. It really is the only acidic food. So when you're eating crappy carbs, which will be sugar, remember, how long does it take for a crappy carb to become sugar? 5 seconds. You're pouring insulin on it to get that sugar out of your bloodstream. It has to. Folks, that's what's acidic. That's why it destroys your telomeres. It shortens your telomeres. You got it? So when you're eating God's food from the farm, including vegetables, I got no problem with that. Eat them. I got no problem with that, but not during the reset. And I'm going to teach for those who want to join, okay? And if you want to join in November, I'll maybe do it again. Like some people are not, but we've really got a lot of people saying, hey, I'm starting tomorrow. It's Thursday, October 1st tomorrow. But don't, guys, it's not true. Acidic foods are sugars. That's acidic. Meat is alkaline. Once it's broken down in your body, it's alkaline. It helps your pH. But so do eggs. So does cheese. Why do I say that all the time? Because they're so nutrient dense. So don't believe it. Now look, if you can get a better processed, other than processed meat, yeah. But I'd rather you have processed meat as a snack or whatever than you have a chocolate bar or a bun or whatever. It's not acidic. Your body will buffer it. It'll make it alkaline. Again, I put the disclaimer out there for you. So it's really, really, really important. So filter everything, guys, okay? Filter everything. Filter what I say. I got no problem with that. The Apostle Paul, he said, he said this in the scriptures. He said, the folks in Berea were more noble than those in Thessalonica. You know why? Because everything that the Apostle Paul said, they checked them out. They took out the Old Testament and said, is he telling the truth or not? And Paul actually commends them for it. And I commend you. I commend you. Why? Because you are looking for information and God gave you a brain, use it. And I will try and prove my case to you every day. I will try and prove my case. Do I have a bias? Yeah. Yeah. I was saying to somebody the other day, I've been doing this for 46 years. I like research. I read research. I look into research. I love researchers. But you know what I like? I like clinicians. What's the difference between a researcher and a clinician? I remember going to a conference in France. I mean, this is a long time ago, probably 30 years ago. And I was a speaker there at a conference. And, I was a little intimidated because everybody around me at that conference, they paid my way. I went over there first class and, I was sitting in the first class section from Canada to France, and they brought me, they flew me in again on another flight. I went to Paris, and then I went into the south part of France, my word, in a place called Biarritz, right on the border and right on the ocean, the Atlantic, right on the border between France and Spain. And I remember I was surrounded by all these guys, PhD after PhD. I got a PhD too, but I was intimidated. I'm a simple guy, okay? I'm a simple guy. And these guys, and they got up and they did their talks, and, listen, if you were there, I think you would have fell asleep when they were speaking, because it's all the lingo and all the terminology, and, and I'm sitting there going, man, I was intimidated. And my turn came up. I was actually presenting a paper on chronic fatigue syndrome, and it was my turn. And I got up there and I said to the group there, okay, there was couple of hundred people there, 300 or 400 people. And I said, look, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing a slideshow. I am going to tell you my experience in the clinic and what I've seen results with real people, not with laboratory rats, not with mice, with people. And I said, I'm going to present this, and I'm apologizing ahead of time if you're going to be disappointed with this. But I just got to tell you, that's the way I'm going to present it, because that's what I know. I can only tell you what I would see in my clinic when I changed their diet. And I went into a chronic fatigue syndrome, and I talked about what I saw. And, maybe they were disappointed. Although I had a lot of doctors come up to me afterwards, and they said, I really enjoyed that. It's very practical. Yeah, that's me. So guys, when you listen to me, I'm going to try and break it down for you. Do I have a bias? For sure I do. But it's my clinical bias. So when someone tells me red meat is no good for you, and I've been telling people to eat red meat since the cows came home, sorry to use that expression, I've seen people's C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker, go like this, way down, eating red meat. So how can it be inflammatory? I've seen people empty their liver, and their liver enzymes come back to normal, eating eggs, meat, and cheese. What do you want me to say? Like to tell you, well, I'm sorry. That can't be true. Well, it's 100% true, because it happened in real people. Consistent results. I'm only going to preach what I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you some strong opinions, but they're clinical opinions. So when you go online, you see stuff, I don't care. Bring it to the group. Usually my group is the one that defends me, but that's all right. It makes you think. I want you to think. Okay, out of time. I got to travel to speak again. Okay, so tomorrow, International Coffee Day. Have your coffee ready, okay? I got mine right here. And we'll enjoy that together tomorrow, okay? Friday, question and answer. If you're not part of our Facebook group, private group, please join. And you can sign up your friends to join too. Okay, love you guys, and I mean that. God bless you. Talk to you soon.